Candace Owens has responded to her being featured on the Islamic Iranian regime's national TV program, which is actually saying something. So was Nick Fuentes, but I think Candace Owens cares a little bit more deeply about, well, not actually being America first, but being more about the Islamic regime or just more about Islam in general. And she is actually doubled down. She doesn't really care whether or not she's been featured on the Iranian regime's TV program, because apparently she was featured on Russian and Ukrainian and all kinds of other different broadcasts defending whatever regime she's decided to defend this time around, whether it's Islam or the Iranian regime, the Palestinian movement with the terrorist organization that's running Gaza at the moment, or if it is, let's say, Russia invading Ukraine. No idea where she stands on Russia invading Ukraine, but I don't think it is necessarily to do with Ukraine, because we're sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine. And when I say we, I'm talking about the US. So I don't think she's very happy about that. But anyway, she goes, "Oh no, how will I ever live down the shame of being anti-war?" You're not anti-war. You're pro-Muslim. You're pro-Islam, believe it or not, which is actually very pro-war. That's interesting. Like, you claim to be anti-war, but you're just really anti-Israel. Anything Israel does or the Jews do, you're anti that. You're straight away blaming the Jews for everything. I was similarly, can't even say that bloody word, never gets off the tongue properly, ladies and gentlemen, broadcast on a Kremlin news station during Biden's presidency, back when I vocally against the Ukraine war. There you go. So you can say that you're anti-war, but sometimes you need a little bit of strength to bring about peace, right? Peace through strength is the terminology. And by the way, I actually stand with Ukraine. I think what happened was absolutely horrendous. And I think if anyone is actually going to bring about peace in that area, it would be Trump. But amazing how the Iranian conflict actually seemed to spark more fire in Candace's belly than her comments of the Ukraine versus Russia conflict. When will I understand that true patriotism is about being pro non-stop foreign wars? Okay. And this person goes, "Wait, is Candace Owens seriously bragging about being used for both Russian and Iranian propaganda?" Seems that way, doesn't it? Laura Luma goes, "Tirani Candy just doubled down on being featured on Iranian state media. There's Hanoi Jane. Now we have Tirani Candy." Well, there you go. And then Candace responds to Laura Luma. She goes, "It's over, guys. Laura Luma has given me the nickname Tyranny Candace Candy. Actually, I don't see how I'll ever bounce back. I shudder to think of the cool kids that will bully me with this devastating insult." Yo, Yacobi goes, "Everyone is laughing at your complete meltdown." It is actually quite funny, to be honest, like how she's doubling down and having a meltdown at the same time of her being featured in Iranian media. That should send signals to every single person. Oh, you're being featured in Iranian media. They're praising you for defending Iran. That signals America first, doesn't it? Anyway, what exactly are you mad about? We took out Iran's nuclear sites with no boots on the ground. No war. No war. Amazing how that actually happened. And good thing, because these people, the bad faith individuals like Candace Owens, and believe you me, we'll get into Dave Smith in just a moment, because Dave Smith had something to say about, well, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we're not going to World War III, which is what these fearmongers were claiming the entire time. Oh, no, Trump is going to bomb the Iranian nuclear sites. You know what this is going to bring? Backlash. And guess what? There was backlash. But you know what Iran did? It let the US know, hey, we're gonna send 14 rockets to your airbase as retaliation. It had to be done. Okay, fair enough. We're going to let you know ahead of time when we're launching the rockets so you can shoot them out of the sky. So no damage. That's our retaliation plan. Wow. That seems like It's quite brutal, isn't it, Candy? Isn't it, Katarson? Like, seems really, really interesting to me because you guys were saying the entire time, oh, no, we're going to war. I didn't vote for a regime change over in Iran. I didn't vote for that. What's happening? Donald Trump says Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response, which we expected, and have very effectively countered. There have been 14 missiles fired, 13 were knocked down, and one was set free because it was headed in a non-threatening direction. I am pleased to report that no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system, and there will hopefully be no further hate. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost and nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed to peace and harmony in the region, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. Thank you for your attention in this matter. And oh boy, did the internet melt down about that. The bad faith individuals were certainly not pleased that we didn't go to war. Wait a minute. You're anti-war 1 minute, but the next minute you're complaining that we didn't go to war. Huh? How does that work exactly? So, step one for the Groypers and the bad faith individuals. Predict World War III. Step two, World War III doesn't happen. Step two, I said. Step three now. Say that you were right all along. The symptoms of mental illness. This is off the back of Candace Owens telling Piers Morgan, because Iran struck the base, but nothing happened. I was right sooner than usual, Piers Morgan. Oh, and Piers Morgan obviously jumped on the bandwagon and became basically pointed to, on his X account, pointed to some statement from a media representative, which was totally factually incorrect, I might add. So the session about being right, what even is that? You're a effing moron and have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. This is Candace Owens. Iran informed the US of the strikes and all missiles were shot down, admitting they were a symbolic strike and Trump is not escalating. How about that? They've been wrong the entire time. Delete your account. Wow. It appears that geopolitics is not Candy Owens's strength. So we've got, seems like peace, because here we go. Congratulations to everyone. Well, thank you, Trump. I appreciate that. I'm part of the everyone deal, aren't I? It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. On the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will, I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America, and God bless the world. My goodness me. What a president, man. What a president. That is actually saying something. And well, Dave Smith, who called for Trump to be impeached over this whole entire issue, if you guys recall about that, he wasn't too happy. But, you know, he's trying to act cool. He goes, well, you are gloating because we told you so. We were the ones that told you so. Stop fear-mongering, man. Consider the fact that innocent people in Israel and Iran have died in this conflict. American soldiers only didn't die because big, scary Iran gave us prior warning. Oh, so you agree, okay? We have no idea if it is over or not. Well, Trump said that there's going to be a ceasefire, this end to the war. So I think Trump has got a pretty good track record at the moment, don't you think? We have, and there is nothing demonstrating that anything meaningful was achieved. Yes, we destroyed the Iranian nuclear sites. Hello, Dave Smith. Clandestine goes, look at yourself, Dave. Trump just ended the war between Israel and Iran without taking or delivering a single casualty. And you're upset about it. Trump is not George Bush. This is not 2003. This is not Iraq 2.0. There will be no World War III. He goes, I'm absolutely thrilled if the war ends at this. I'll gladly take you guys saying I was wrong over another calamity. I'm not saying where I was wrong. You were wrong on pretty much everything, Dave Smith, just in case you're wondering. And that statement in of itself is quite prideful. Just pointing that out loud and clear, right? I don't really care if I was right or wrong. I'm happy to say that I was wrong. And I don't really care if I was right either. It's not about that. What it's about is that peace was achieved through strength. And it was about taking out Iranian's nuclear site. It wasn't about taking out taking out the Iranian people. No. Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, which even Iran admitted. Oh, we can't have nuclear weapons. Okay, fair enough. We'll just leave it at that. We'll take our lumps. Thank you very much. And when Dave Smith and Candace Owens has a complete and utter meltdown about this, it's amazing because they've got to be right about everything. And when they're wrong, they've still got to be right. I still think this is a completely unnecessary war for America. It wasn't a war, Dave Smith. But I mean, Trump did say it's a 12-day war. So I think that's just propaganda, if you ask me, and quite funny. 12-day war. It wasn't really that much of a war. But anyway, if you want to say that it's a war, by all means, it's not going to be any skin off my nose, to be honest. And America basically only delivered the final blow. So their involvement was minuscule. There was no boots on the ground, nothing. They just dropped the payload of bombs and Bob's your uncle. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen next because Iran was also saying about the sleeper cells and all that other thing that's going on at the moment. So we'll wait to see what happens. And also we had in Sydney, I'm more worried about the homegrown terrorist, if you ask me. So I think we should keep our eyes and ears peeled. But anyway, that's enough from me. You guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.